Later, at Quickville Shopping Center. The citizens of Quickville have gathered in the atrium of the mall to hear a public address from Christian Weston Chandler. Now returned to his human form, Chris stands at a podium on the second floor. Seated at a table behind him are the leading officials of the city government. Vice Mayor Allison Amber, the city's defenders Sonichu and Rosachu, Chris's dog, Patty Chan, and his twin sister, Crystal Weston Chandler. Above them, an enormous monitor is suspended from the ceiling, displaying Christian as he speaks. Thank you all for attending, Chris says. I have some announcements to make. Firstly, Slawwheel Rhyme has finally been stripped of her dark magic, arrested and serving life in the maximum security prison of Washington, D.C. Every last living individual who was brainwashed by her have been released of her spell, including the ex-managers. I am also going to make it legal for all homosexuals to do as they please within the city, but gay marriage will continue to be illegal. I am appointing Crystal to be my assistant in social relations, so all input can be better understood from the people, for the people. And I, Christian Weston Chandler, will continue to be mayor of Quickville, Virginia, because without me and my capabilities, this city would be lost. Although now I shall make less appearances in Sonichu's adventures. And now for the secondary topics. As Chris continues, we see seated in the crowd Wild Sonichu with his girlfriend Simona Rosachu. She gets up and hands him her purse. Wild, I gotta go use the restroom, she says. Watch my bags? Sure, sweetheart, says Wild. Holding her purse in one hand, he pats a massive egg in Simona's chair with the other, and adds, and I'll watch over our little blessing, too. Elsewhere in the crowd, Magichan Sonichu senses trouble, and he notices an intruder hanging from the ceiling, attempting to use scissors to cut the chains that hold up the giant monitor. With his psychic powers, Magichan quickly immobilizes the saboteur. I don't think so, Evan, says Magichan. He notices a dark gray helmet on his head and quickly realizes its purpose. Lead helmets. No wonder I could not trace your mind. As this unfolds, Chris continues to deliver his speech. I will admit that Alec has a sizable fan base in comparison to mine, he says. As Magichan secures Evan, he notices another figure lurking behind a potted plant in the mall. In the blink of an eye, he captures this one as well. I won't let you get away with murdering your own sister, Simon. Blanking your minds won't help you either. But even as Magichan extracts the intruder's plot from their minds, a third conspirator in a dark robe is busy at the restroom. He removes an out-of-order sign from the ladies' room, then quickly hides in the men's room while Simona enters. As Simona begins to urinate, the robed man walks away, and we see he is a blonde man with brown eyes. He presses a button on a remote control, which sends a signal to a Volt Orb he has hidden in the very stall Simona is using. Meanwhile, Chris continues his speech. Evan had originally given me permission before to use his Sonichu, but for some odd reason he chose to withdraw that permission. Thank you all. I am Christian Weston Chandler, Mayor of Quickville, Virginia. Have a good and safe day. And as Christian finishes his speech, the Voltorb explodes.
Voltorb.
Ah! Screams Simona, as the force of the blast drives fecal matter back into her rectum. What was that? Chris asks. Police, medics, check out the situation. A few minutes later, the local police have set up a perimeter around the scene of the incident, and a doctor wheels a stretcher into the ladies' restroom. Inside, the police and medics examine Simona's body, which has been mutilated from the waist down. Oh, this is not looking good, says one of the medics as he kneels in a pool of Simona's blood and excrement. We need to get her to the hospital. Unable to stand the ghastly sight of Simona's eviscerated body, Constable Lou Perez looks over the destroyed toilet, where the detonated Voltorb lies inert among the broken porcelain and toilet water. I'll let Chris know, he says. Big C, Officer Perez here, he says, speaking into his walkie-talkie. A toilet exploded from a Voltorb that self-destructed on remote command. Miss Simone Sonichu fell victim, and she was injured bad. We're rushing her to the hospital. Dang, I copy that. Thank you, Lou, Chris replies. Inexplicably, we flash back to portions of Chris's speech, delivered while Simona was using the toilet. Simona was not mine to begin with, as she was originally based off of Sonichu. I had edited her Wikipedia bio page to state that she was not based off of Simon. In the present, the medics wheel Simona to the ambulance on a stretcher, and Wild Sonichu follows closely behind, carrying their giant egg. Meanwhile, Magichan delivers his captives to the authorities. Lou, these two were in close league with Simona's killer, he says. Good job, Magichan, says Lou. We'll take M in. As Simona is lifted into the ambulance, she gives her drill medallion to Wild. Wild, I don't think I'm gonna make it, she says. Take my lucky shark's tooth. Wild accepts the medallion, and the ambulance takes off for the hospital. In the operating room, a team of surgeons works valiantly to save Simona's life. So extensive and severe are her injuries that they dare not use anesthesia of any kind. Instead, they must keep Simona awake for the entire procedure. As they work, Simona's screams of agony echo through the building, and at times she begs for the sweet release of death. We have to save Simona, one of the surgeons says. She's the best builder around. Yes, she is, says another doctor. Her friends at Quick Sturdy Construction are paying big to keep her alive now. Oh no, says a third surgeon. We're losing her. In the waiting room, Wild sits atop their egg and masturbates nervously. His brow dripping with cold sweat, he struggles to ignore the tortured howls of his dying lover, and focuses instead on thoughts of happier times in their 5-month relationship. I love you so much, Wild. You always have the tool I need when I'm at work. I enjoy working together with you on our project, sweetheart. Oh, my God, we're having a baby. You will make a great father, Wild. Dang, this egg weighs a lot. I appreciate you for carrying it around for me. You are so strong. I will always love you and our little Sandy. Once more, we flash back to Chris's speech from earlier in the day. Having created Simona, Chris says, I had gone against Evan's wishes, and I apologize for that. In the present, one of the doctors who operated on Simona emerges from the OR to give Wild the news. Wild, we've done all we could, he says. But I'm afraid Simona's internal injuries were too much. I'm so sorry. I see. Thank you, Dr. Bill Schwartz, says Wild. Bill walks away, thinking to himself, I gave up working for Giovanni to save lives. I hate these bad days. Finally alone, Wild drops his stoic facade and clutches Simona's drill medallion to his heart, sobbing. However, his grief is interrupted by a telepathic call from Magichan Sonichu. Wild, I have found Simona's murderer and his crew. Instantly, Wild's sorrow ignites into rage, and his thoughts of his lost love and the happy times they shared together are replaced by a single word. Revenge. I'll kill that SOB for killing my sweetheart! Wild shouts aloud. Hold up, Magichan tells him. The fiends are in jail now. Their trial is in a week. Be patient, Wild. Besides which, it looks like something else has suddenly come up. Wild notices the egg behind him as it quivers and begins to crack. Suddenly it bursts open, and a pink Rosie emerges from within. Daddy? She asks. We again return to Chris's speech from earlier in the day. Also, Alec is not naive, and I apologize for calling him that, Chris says. In the present, Wild lifts his newborn daughter out of her eggshell, his face twisted in a volatile mix of grief, rage, and joy. "Yes," he says, fighting back tears. "I am your father. Your name is Sandy." "Yay! Daddy, daddy, daddy!" babbles Sandy. "My name is Sandy. Where's Mommy?" she asks. "Evan killed Mommy," Magi-chan says. Ah!